The robber suddenly put down his gun and took out a dagger. He was trying to warn the hostages not to make a sound while he was sliding through the space, but he didn't wait for the crowd to react. The other robber was in a daze, but before he could turn around, the dagger was already on his neck. The next second, his companion was sent to hell on the spot. In the shock of the crowd, the man put him in a graceful position. Then he quickly fell to the ground and pretended to be dead. When the third robber came to stare at him, he hurriedly called out his companion's name, but after a light slap, he found that the other party's body was already cold. He hurried to check the man's condition. It was another slap. He turned to himself. Fortunately, the robber didn't notice. When the other party tried to listen to his heartbeat, he didn't expect the man to be so scared. Then he got up in a courteous manner, took off his headgear, and tidied up his embroidery. Then he quietly sneaked into the crowd to pretend to be a hostage, but no one would expect that he would raise his hand and admit to the robbery. No one knew why he did that. In order to kill the hostages, several robbers tied him up on a chair. Then they were ready to torture him to death. He couldn't stand it when he saw his boyfriend. The woman suddenly had a bold idea. The girl suddenly broke her glasses. Then she put the soft mouthpiece on the mirror. When the kidnappers were distracted, she quickly put the mirror under the man's feet. The robber was in a hurry to put the mirror under the man's feet. Then he quietly moved the mirror to the back of the man. Then he began to cut the man's neck in front of the robber. In order to distract the kidnappers, the hostages shouted loudly on purpose, but the robbers still noticed it. As soon as the first army arrived, the robber successfully cut off the rope. He just kicked the robber's body with his bare hands. The other robber rushed to the scene immediately, but he was caught by the robber with an empty hand. He was shot in the eye and died. At this time, a fearless man rushed forward, but the robber didn't know where he came from. Then a paratrooper kicked him out of the building hundreds of meters away. In less than 3 seconds, several robbers had fallen to the ground, but before everyone could catch their breath, a group of gunmen suddenly appeared in front of them. The vertical machine gun locked the crowd at the same time. They were ready to kill indiscriminately, but in the next second, they didn't have time to react. The police who were hiding in the basement quickly took up the machine gun. A crazy shot was fired at them. In this way, several robbers were instantly united.